Part 52. Across the Heavens, Marvel's Mechanical Hunter. Author, De Chuan-Chi. Chapter 512. With a pop sound, Thanos Doubta's head was severed from his neck, and purple blood splattered everywhere. Kal Yejuju dodged the splattered blood, exhaled heavily, turned around and looked at the two dumbfounded women. He shot several Chitauri cannon fodders who were about to attack the two women with flying blades, and used his mental power to kill Thanos' dead head. Lift it up and fly into the air. Stop it, your boss is dead. Why don't you surrender and wait for me to kill you all here? The loud shouts spread far and wide throughout the battlefield in Wakanda, causing both sides of the battle to stop involuntarily and look up into the air. It didn't matter at this glance. The troops brought by Thanos all started making noises in a panic. Yejuju didn't want to know what he was talking about, as long as he could scare these cannon fodder. On the human side, after seeing clearly, they cheered in unison to celebrate the death of the opponent's leader. Humanity won this battle. Then, I don't know who shouted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Later, more people joined in, and the uniform shouts of yeah became louder and louder, resounding throughout Wakanda. The Thanos army suddenly became dejected. Even the remaining 3 Obsidian generals were dressed like mourning concubines. They even simply threw away their weapons, leaving their clothes to be slaughtered. It's not that they really don't want to fight, or they don't want to replace Thanos as another tycoon, it's just that the deterrent Yejuju brings to them is too great. Although they did not fully witness the process of Yejuju's victory over Thanos, they had seen the previous fight between the two. There is no doubt about Yejuju's strength. Being able to overpower Thanos in a fight speaks for itself. In addition, Thanos' head was lifted into the air by Yejuju, which increased their awareness of Yejuju's power, so even those who had ideas in their hearts stopped trying to incite people to continue fighting with Yejuju and others. Fighting thoughts? Seeing that the remaining Obsidian generals had dropped their weapons, naturally none of the cannon fodder had the courage to fight. They all dropped their weapons. Even the cruel space dogs crawled down obediently. Oh we win. Seeing all the enemies surrendering, the remaining humans cheered again. Yejuju waited until they were almost cheering, then raised his hand to signal everyone to be quiet. Seeing Yejuju beckoning everyone to be quiet, everyone calmed down in submission, looking at Yejuju in the sky with excitement, waiting for Yejuju to speak. Seeing that everyone was quiet, Yejuju shouted, "Prince T'Challa, please lead your soldiers to collect all the weapons of these alien dogs, and then drive them back to their space battleships, let them all get out of the Earth, and never come to the Earth again. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Otherwise, next time, I will lead everyone to kill them to death. Kill, 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 leave no chickens or dogs behind." After Yejuju shouted, everyone also shouted loudly, and the sound was so loud that it could be heard even outside Wakanda. Later, under Yejuju's shock, all Thanos troops were divided into several groups and gathered together. It took Wakanda soldiers more than an hour to escort them to the space battleship, and finally left the atmosphere under the supervision of fighter jets. At this moment, Yejuju received a prompt from the system. Congratulations to the host for completing the only mainline super god level mission. Kill Thanos and his henchmen. Successful missions will reward 6 cosmic gems and 500,000 experience points. Tips: the host level increases, currently level 47, strength and stamina increase by 1 each. Intelligence, spirit, and agility each increase by 2 and have been automatically assigned to the attribute panel. Please check the details by the host. Tips: the host level increases, currently level 48, strength and stamina increase by 1 each. Intelligence, spirit, and agility each increase by 2 and have been automatically assigned to the attribute panel. Please check the details by the host. Hint. Tips: the host level increases, the current level is 50, and the strength and stamina increase by 1 each. Intelligence, spirit, and agility each increase by 2 and have been automatically assigned to the attribute panel. Please check the details by the host. Tip: when the host level reaches level 50, professional talents and skills will be upgraded. 1 Grandmaster level Combat Master. 2 Grandmaster Mechanical Master. 3 Mental Power, Planetary level. After listening to a long series of prompts from the system, Yejuju finally let out a breath of relief and said secretly, "It's not easy to be real. Fortunately, I finally broke through, otherwise I really wouldn't be able to kill Thanos. If I wait until that guy sees that the situation is bad and runs away, I really don't know when I will be able to kill him. There's no way he can chase him into Thanos' lair in the universe and kill him." Just when Yejuju was thinking about his thoughts, Tony also flew into the sky, grabbed Yejuju and said, "What's wrong? Yeah, we've won the battle, and you're still in a daze. What are you thinking about?" After being pulled by Tony, Yejuju reacted. When he turned around, he had already put back the mask and looked at Tony, who had also taken off the mask, and said, "Oh, I didn't think anything of it, I just felt a little emotional." Tony heard this with a frightened expression on his face, and echoed, "Yeah. Who said it wasn't? If you hadn't brought us the laser railgun, if you hadn't asked to set up the battlefield in Wakanda, if the old king and prince of Wakanda hadn't been so." Speaking of this, Tony couldn't say anything more. He really didn't know what to say. Speaking of which, all this was really thanks to Yejuju's foresight and early preparations for the war with aliens. At this time, he realized that Yejuju had saved him and taught him so much high-tech, which might be for preparation now. Yejuju's mystery and magic also made the arrogant Tony admire Yejuju. After getting along for so long, he really regarded Yejuju as a friend and brother. Just at this time, someone in the crowd underground shouted for the two to come down. The old king had prepared a banquet for everyone to celebrate the victory of humans against aliens. Hearing this, the two looked at each other, smiled, and landed on the ground together and put away their armor at the same time. The celebration banquet was held in the square outside the Wakanda Palace. Although the dishes were not very good, the enthusiasm and sincerity of the Wakanda people were valuable, and Yejuju liked it very much. During the banquet, people came to Yejuju from time to toast, and Yejuju accepted all of them and drank them all. Until he couldn't drink anymore and fell drunk, he didn't even know who sent him back to the room. Across the Heavens, Marvel's Mechanical Hunter. Author, De Chuan-Chi. Chapter 513. When I got up the next day holding my head that was so painful that it was splitting, I found someone else beside me. This immediately startled Yejuju, and when he took a closer look, he realized that it was Sky. After seeing that it was Sky, Yejuju breathed a sigh of relief, as long as it wasn't Natasha. Thinking that Natasha and almost all Marvel superheroes were unclear, Yejuju gave up the idea of having anything to do with Natasha. After Yejuju woke up, Sky also woke up. When he opened his eyes and saw Yejuju staring at him, Sky was generous and rolled his eyes at Yejuju and said lazily, "Morning." "Well. Morning. That. Last night. Yejuju responded subconsciously and didn't know what to say. Sky rolled over and said as he got out of bed, "Don't get me wrong, I just took you back to your room and fell asleep here because you were too tired. Don't worry, you were very drunk last night and nothing happened to us." When he said this, Yejuju clearly felt the dissatisfaction in Sky's words, and couldn't help but smile bitterly in his heart. He is not a noob, how could he not know the meaning of Sky's words, but can you blame me? I'm not drunk. After complaining in his heart, he watched Sky walk out of the room. Only then did Yejuju have time to open the panel and check. Name, Yejuju. Age, 16 years old. Occupation, Mechanical Hunter. Level, Level 50, 000. Property. Strength, 161. Stamina, 73. Intelligence, 58. Spirit, 148. Agility, 110. Speed, 197 meters/second. Energy, points/minute recovery rate. Professional talents and skills. 1 Grandmaster level Combat Master. 2 Grandmaster Mechanical Master. 3 Mental Power, Planetary level. Pets, Mechanical 2-headed Dragon, Tiamat, Mechanical 3-headed Dog, Cerberus, Mecha Warrior, General. Cultivation skills, 5 Hearts to the Sky, Passive skill, Perfect level. From now on, every time the level increases, the attribute points obtained will be doubled. 9-layer Ice Sword, 9-layer -9 times the power. Control Master Secret Technique 312 Style. The 21st style increases the number of controllable flying knives by a total of 23. The Secret Technique of Escape, the 3rd level, increases the speed of the flying form by 1000 meters/second, and increases the defense power of the 2nd form of defense form by 100,000 kilograms, increase the attack power of the 3rd form of the mountain cone by 100,000 kilograms. Special weapon, Dunshinchuo, defense form, flight form, attack form. Mount, Chasing the Wind, Transformers. Special space, 10,000 square meters of machinery manufacturing space, some materials and sundries. Drawings, 0. Special permissions, 0. Note, there is 1 time left for the time travel function. After seeing his current attributes, Yejuju couldn't help but feel a sense of loss. Because the system's Super God level mission has been completed, it seems that it has lost the motivation to continue traveling through time and space. As for the Celestial Clan, who are said to be coming out in several years, Yejuju is not afraid of them. Even without him, there will still be people from the Eternal Clan to deal with him. But will he really continue like this in the future? Do you want to keep traveling through space every month? Aren't you tired? Thinking of this, Yejuju shook his head to dispel the idea from his mind and sat up from the bed. Needless to say, it would be impossible for him to just stay in the Marvel world without traveling through time and space. But now that Thanos has been killed by him, he can enter other worlds without being so anxious. It's time to take a good rest. Thinking of this, Yejuju got out of bed and went into the bathroom to wash up. When Yejuju came out, someone came to take Yejuju to the old king's palace. Yejuju seemed to have thought of this a long time ago, and followed the people to the palace hall without hesitation. Entering the main hall, Yejuju saw everyone who participated in the battle yesterday. Not to mention Tony, others such as several people representing SHIELD headed by Team Me, Karmatage, the Magic Holy Land Wizards headed by Steven and Wang were all there. Seeing these people, Yejuju immediately guessed the purpose of these people here. That's of course because of the laser rail gun he brought. The power of this weapon was fully demonstrated in yesterday's actual combat. Not to mention the ability to destroy space battleships, it was the ability to activate and kill the flame giant king that was more than 300 meters high, making everyone present fearful of this weapon. But out of fear, everyone wants to master this weapon, which is why the mages representing S.H.I.E.L.D's Team Me and Kamatage are here. Of course, this also includes the forces of Wakanda. They naturally want to own this weapon. Even if they have no idea of domination, they also want to own the laser rail gun, which is the most deterrent weapon. When everyone saw Yejuju coming in, they couldn't help but stood up to greet him. Yejuju nodded to everyone while walking towards the middle. After Yejuju sat down, everyone sat down again. As the host, the old king took the lead and said, "Mr. Ye, thank you for being here yesterday, otherwise, we humans would be in danger." As soon as the words fell, everyone followed suit, and the flattering words sounded like they were free of money. This is not because these people are hypocritical, but everyone understands that without Yejuju, without the laser railgun brought by Yejuju, the Earth is really in danger. Yejuju accepted everyone's compliments calmly, and then looked around at everyone and said directly, "I know what you are thinking." After saying that, he paused deliberately, and seeing that everyone's face became serious and urgent, Yejuju continued. "I brought the laser railgun to Wakanda, and I don't plan to take it away, so I'll leave it in Wakanda. Don't say anything, listen to me." Interrupting everyone's uproar, Yejuju continued. "I hope everyone understands one thing, the laser railgun is used to deal with aliens, not as a weapon for internal human wars. I think everyone knows that Wakanda is a semi-hidden country. They have no intention of dominating the world, and I believe they will not pass on the manufacturing technology of this weapon. And the rest. Whether it is SHIELD or the Holy Land of Mages, can you guarantee that you will not pass on the laser railgun after you get it?" After saying that, he seemed to feel that this was not enough, and added, "I don't want to have to personally solve the trouble because of the weapon." The power of this sentence immediately made everyone present quiet down. Tony looked at the few people present with a smile, and laughed at these people in his heart for overestimating their own abilities and wanting to get the laser railgun from his brothers. "Haha. What kind of weapon is that? How could you get a weapon that can destroy space battleships and kill superpowers as a weapon for human war?" You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Across the Heavens, Marvel's Mechanical Hunter. Author, De Chuanchi. Chapter 514. After hearing Yejuju's words, everyone present fell silent. Even Natasha and others who wanted to continue to persuade Yejuju also shut their mouths. These people wanted to get this kind of weapon for S.H.I.E.L.D., but they all knew that once this kind of weapon got to S.H.I.E.L.D., it would inevitably be obtained by other countries. Searched can on Google. Since there is no guarantee that the weapons will not be used by those who are interested, it is better not to persuade them. Actually, they were not worried about this, they were really afraid of Yejuju's strength, and they were afraid that Yejuju would come to settle accounts with them. Having said this, everyone said goodbye and left after knowing that there was no hope of obtaining weapons. After everyone left, Yejuju suddenly remembered the mission originally issued by the system, which required the purchase of 50 million meters of vibranium. Of course, the reward for this task can be said to be insignificant to Yejuju now, but since everyone is here, it is better to complete this task. Thinking of this, Yejuju said to old T'Challa after everyone left. "His Majesty King T'Challa, I have one more request. I wonder if the old king can satisfy me." Hearing this, old T'Challa answered with curiosity in his eyes. "Oh, I don't know what Mr. Yes' request is. Just tell me and I, Wakanda, will definitely help you do it." The reason why he was so generous was that in the eyes of old T'Challa, Yejuju was already the most powerful person in the world. There are countless people and countries who want to make friends with Yejuju. It would be great if Wakanda could have the opportunity to help him. Hearing this, Yejuju said straightforwardly without being verbose. "I want to buy 50 million vibranium, is it possible?" Hearing this, old T'Challa immediately understood and agreed without hesitation. He even said that he could give Yejuju vibranium worth 100 million as a thank you gift for Yejuju for saving the Earth. Yejuju did not accept such an overture and stubbornly demanded the normal transaction price. When 50 million worth of vibranium was placed in front of Yejuju, Yejuju was also very interested in vibranium, one of the hardest metals in Marvel. "The vibranium that I saw with my own eyes was just a piece of inconspicuous black metal. It was not as beautiful as the weapons produced in the show. After putting these metals into the space, I heard the system prompt sound. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission in the main world, obtaining 50 million meters of gold to purchase vibranium and 1,000 experience points as a reward. Tip: as one of the hardest metals in the Marvel world, vibranium can be integrated into the host's armor to increase the armor's defense by 50%. Hearing this, Yejuju was a little surprised. He didn't expect vibranium to be really useful to him. But Yejuju didn't want to buy more vibranium. First of all, the amount of vibranium is actually limited. If he buys too much, Wakanda will feel distressed. Everything here was over, and Yejuju naturally took Sky and Parker back to New York on Tony's plane. In Tony's penthouse luxury residence, several people were having a party. Attending the banquet was Tony, the host, and Pepper was invited by Tony to accompany Sky as a guest. The rest are Yejuju, Parker, and Tony's good brother Rod. While several people were drinking and chatting, Tony suddenly asked Yejuju, "Yeah, my brother, the aliens have been defeated by you, and it seems that the Earth is safe for the time being. So, what are your plans next?" Hearing this, Yejuju was stunned for a moment, and then he realized what he had thought about in Wakanda, and made a decision in his heart. He shrugged and said, "If you didn't tell me, I would have forgotten it." Having said this, Yejuju paused, took a sip of the wine in the cup, and then continued. "Speaking of it, I have been preparing for yesterday for so long. Now that this big trouble is finally solved, it's natural to take a good rest." After speaking, looking at the curious expressions of everyone staring at him, Yejuju smiled, his eyes drifting across the huge French window, and said, "Next. Naturally, let's enjoy life first. I want to travel around the world to see the Eiffel Tower in Paris, go surfing in the Maldives, go to Mexico to see the mysterious Mayan ruins, see the ancient pyramids in Egypt, and see the waterfalls in Zimbabwe." Having said this, after another pause, Yejuju suddenly became calm and said in an unquestionable tone, "Finally, I want to visit my hometown. Go see the ancient and great human miracle, the Great Wall. Go see the magnificent Forbidden City and visit various historical sites and tourist attractions in China." After hearing Yejuju's plan, everyone except the black man Rhodes showed longing expressions. Unfortunately, among the people present, Rhodes, as a soldier, does not have that much time off to visit so many places. Let's not talk about little Pepper. She is now the CEO of Stark Group and doesn't have that much time to travel. Parker wanted to go, but he couldn't leave his studies behind and be with Yejuju. The only ones left were Sky and Tony. Needless to say, Sky would go wherever Yejuju went. Mainly still. Until now, she has not taken down the straight man Yejuju. If he didn't follow Yejuju, Yejuju might have been seduced by some vixen. What Tony didn't say was that he was a playboy, but he had never had a good trip. After hearing Yejuju's plan, he was the first to respond positively and immediately asked to travel around the world with Yejuju. He said very arrogantly, "Yeah, you can't leave me behind for such a good thing. I'm going to. Also, I will pay for all the expenses along the way. Who can tell me that I am the richest person among you?" Hearing this, Yejuju answered teasingly, "Of course. If you don't go, I will tie you up. Haha." After saying that, Yejuju laughed heartily. Then everyone started laughing. But when Sky looked at Yejuju, who was laughing happily, he felt unspeakably aggrieved and thought to himself, "Why not try to get the leaves while traveling?" After the banquet, Yejuju and Sky stayed in Tony's building because they would start traveling around the world on Tony's special plane the next day. Parker was sent home by Tony, and Rod was also sent away. Back in the bedroom, Yejuju lay on the bed, and his mind couldn't help but start thinking about everything he had come to the Marvel world. From the first time I traveled through The Walking Dead to Hunt and Lost, I thought of the first woman in my life, Beth. Thinking of the first battle in the Marvel world, the destruction of the Kingpin group. I thought of helping Parker become Spider-Man and fighting Dr. Lizard with Parker. I thought of having a romantic relationship with the goddess Ada in my heart in the world of Resident Evil. I thought about meeting Tony for the first time and working with Tony on research and development of the Iron Man suit. Thinking of the world of Terminator and the red and blue clothes I got. Thinking of the Battle of New York initiated by Loki and the experience of entering the world of Transformers. I thought of fighting against behemoths in the world of Pacific Rim. I thought about becoming a real super strong person in the world of swallowing stars. In the end, I naturally thought of Thanos' demise. When all this was recalled, it was already more than an hour later. At this time, Yejuju suddenly lost his sleepiness and felt a sense of urgency in his heart. This world is not peaceful. In addition to Thanos, there are many people or monsters with ulterior motives waiting for him. I can't just stay depressed like this, I still have to be more urgent and keep getting stronger in order to deal with known and unknown powerful enemies in the future. Certainly. All this will have to wait until he takes a good rest. Thinking of this, Yejuju felt extremely excited. Looking forward to it. A more exciting life in the future. Complete book.